What is up, everybody? No driving range here. I showed up late for my tee time, had to run to the first tee. Was lucky actually to find the club face, but blew in a little bit right into the bunker. Took me 2 shots to get out, but I was able to put this second one to tap in range and sunk this for bogey on what I think is the toughest par 3 here in Kansas City. Hit a fade here that didn't fade. So it went into the rough a little bit long. We're joined today by Kevin, who runs Edwin Watt's golf store in Overland Park. So if you have any golf needs, go see Kevin. He is a master club fitter as well. That second shot had to just chunk out of the rough, had a tough lie, but it hit such a good chip shot here. If I sink this par putt here, you guys have to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Oh, there you go.
Par save.
Third hole is a pretty good par 5. Hit a good drive here up the left side, but had this tree to mess with. So I thought that I'd try to hit a high draw around it, but just blocked it. Thought it was going to end up in this bunker, but it actually went long in this thick stuff, and I hit the best shot I've ever hit out of here to give myself a chance for birdie on this par 5, and left it just a little bit short, but right in the heart. But happy to tap in for a par after hitting one in the crap. Instead of talking about this terrible tee shot I hit, I'll talk a little bit about the course. So Hillcrest is the only Donald Ross design in Kansas City. I believe it's a 1916 design by Donald Ross. Obviously one of the most famous golf course architects in the world. And it's gone under some improvements recently. They redid the bunkers and some cart paths, and it seems just to be in better overall shape than the last time I played it, which was probably 2 or 3 years ago. And I really enjoyed it. The greens were playing firm, and the green speed was pretty good too. So it was a really enjoyable round. So I tapped in for my bogey there, hit a good 3-wood out in the fairway here, and had kind of an in-between number, 125 yards. So tried to take a little bit off of a pitching wedge, but I caught it clean and went a little bit long. Thought I hit a good chip shot back up onto the green, but it took a huge bounce forward and to the left, rolled into the fringe, and I can't get this close enough to tap in, so I give myself a real tough bogey putt here, and it breaks right when I was expecting it to go straight. There was a turkey in the fairway, and I was joking around about aiming at it, and I topped my 3-wood and almost hit it on accident. I should have been a turkey hunter. Ball was way above my feet here, so in my mind I'm thinking I'm going to hit a 220-yard 3-iron, you know, sling and draw, but in reality I hit that tree, but luckily it bounced back, and I was able to hit a nice little lob wedge up onto the green to try to save my par. But once again I 3-putt to go back-to-back double bogeys. So I get what you're thinking right now. This is supposed to be a break 80 challenge. I promise it gets better. Just wait to the back 9. I respond pretty well from those 2 double bogeys, but chunked a little 8-iron into that bunker, but thought I was going to be able to get up and down. Just pulled that putt. Had to settle for bogey. So we are right now 7 over through 7 holes. It's not looking good for our first break 80 challenge, but we're about to bounce back, I promise. Gave myself a little drop off this cart path, punched a 7-iron, and almost holed this flop shot, which would have been huge, but give us a good chance for a par comebacker and just don't give it enough break. Was not used to how much these Donald Ross greens break, but able to make the bogey comebacker. So I am carrying 2 drivers in the bag still, and I decided to put the other driver in timeout and give the Cobra a chance and hit one right down the middle. This fairway does all slope right to left, so it ended up in the rough, but had a good shot here. Didn't take quite enough club, but still have a birdie putt to finish out our 9 holes, and I almost make it. I mean, I leave this thing dead in the heart, just about 18 inches short, but we'll tap in for a par to make the turn at 8 over. Hit my best drive of the day here, and just want to talk a little bit about the Break 80 series. We're going to try to play every public golf course in the Kansas City Metro and see how many we can break 80 at. Obviously, I'm going to have to shoot 1 under on the back here, but I think we have a chance. There's some birdieable holes. Speaking of which, we have a birdie putt here, which I just slide right by the hole, but never get mad about a tap-in par. Now, 8 irons are usually my best friend, but on this day, I was just chunking them off the tee for some reason. So just like I did in the last par 3, left this short, but chipping is my strong point, and I was able to give myself a good chance. Borrowed Kevin's putter here and made a putt finally. 300-yard par 4 here. Tried to go for the green. Luckily was able to find this one just a little bit to the right of the green in this thick rough and chunked out. Thought this was going to be really, really tight, give me a chance for birdie. But I leave this one just short. Thought that was going to be a little bit quicker than it was, but we'll take another par. Hit another good drive here on this short par 5. Gave myself about 230 yards in. Just bounded about a foot into the rough. Didn't have a very good lie, but hit this hybrid low. It barely got over that hill. Almost got to the green. Thought this chip was going to go a little bit to the right, but it stayed right where it was. Still had another birdie putt and just barely missed it again. But we're staying on the par train. This is, in my opinion, one of the best par 3s in Kansas City. It's a great looking hole. Gives you that old kind of country club feel that you go to expecting at a 1916 design course. Hit a weak little 9-iron out to the right, but give ourselves a chance to say par, and we do. Stay on the par train. So after about 4 holes, this driver's already about to get put in timeout. Hit one a little bit right there. Again, in between yardages, and didn't take enough that time. But hit a good pitch shot here to give ourselves a chance to stay on the par train, and we just miss it by an inch again. It's a 9 over through 15 holes. We got to play 2 under on the way in, which I think we can do, but hit a good drive. Not really sure what this hole did. It's been a long time since I played, but ended up on this upslope, hit a really good pitching wedge to give ourselves a birdie chance, and don't quite read it correctly, but take a 2 putt there. Pretty happy with that. Hit a drive left here. We yelled 4. We definitely didn't need to, but just to be safe, had to hit a pitching wedge as hard and as high as I could here from 140 yards out of this rough, and it carried that bunker and released all the way to the green. Kevin called a shot here, told me he was birdieing this hole, and couldn't really tell there, but he stuck it close, and he made his birdie as I missed mine, but was able to tap in for par. So we're 9 under going into the last 2 holes, so I would have to hole out. Kevin hits another great drive here on this last hole and ended up birdieing both the last 2 holes, which is what I needed to do to shoot under 80, but I did not do it. So I hit a good drive here as well, but take this 50-yard lob wedge and hit it about 65 yards. Kind of got a flyer out of the rough, and then misread this birdie putt, leaving ourselves a really, really tough par putt to shoot an 81, and we miss it, but tap in for our 82, 10 over par. All right, I'm going to pop up the scorecard from the round. So if you want to look at that with me, you can. If not, you can go ahead and leave. But shot an 82 here. Obviously, the 38 on the back 9, much better than the 44 on the front. But that 3 out of 14 fairways hit number is really what I am looking at. That's got to get better. I know I had a few that just were, a foot or 2 off the fairway, but overall driving was not my strong point today. 8 out of 18 greens, honestly, when you're not hitting the fairway, isn't that bad. I chipped pretty well. Could have hit the irons better on the par 3s, but 35 putts is not good either. That's a 2 putt per hole and then 1 putt essentially. So I would like to get that closer to 30, and probably get the fairways hit up. I don't know, maybe 40 or 50% of fairways would be better than 3 out of 17. So anyways, Hillcrest was awesome. I was very pleasantly surprised. I had super low expectations because honestly, last time I played it, it was a goat track. It was in terrible shape. Now I will say, it's May 5th. Pretty much every course in the city should be in good shape with all the rain that we've gotten. So we'll have to see later in the year if it'll hold up. But everything out there was good. It's always been a fun track. It's just kind of lacked some of the TLC to get it to that level back to where it is now. I still think they're charging a little bit too much. We paid $42 for a afternoon tee time on a Tuesday, and I think that's a little bit steep for what they got out there, but it was enjoyable. I'm looking forward to playing some more courses in Kansas City and seeing if I can break 80.